Welcome, students, to an exciting journey into the fundamental process of life, cell division. Today, in our Class 9 Biology chapter, Cell, the Unit of Life, we'll unravel the mysteries of mitosis. This incredible process allows our bodies to grow, heal, and replace cells. We'll explore mitosis from its basic concepts to its intricate molecular mechanisms across 4 levels of understanding. Let's dive in. Ready to discover how your body grows and repairs itself every single day? Let's start with the basics of mitosis, simplified for you. Mitosis is a fundamental type of cell division. Think of it as a magical copying machine for cells. In this process, one parent cell divides to form two new cells called daughter cells. The amazing part? These daughter cells are exact genetic copies of the parent cell, meaning they have the same number and type of chromosomes. Mitosis primarily occurs in somatic cells, which are essentially all the cells in your body except reproductive cells. It ensures that every new cell gets a complete and identical set of genetic instructions. So, why is this process so crucial? Firstly, for growth star. From a tiny baby to a grown-up, mitosis adds more cells, making you bigger. Secondly, for repair star. When you get a cut, mitosis rapidly produces new skin cells to heal the wound. It also replaces old, worn-out cells like those lining your gut or your red blood cells. In simpler organisms, mitosis can even be a form of asexual reproduction. For example, your skin cells are constantly dividing, ensuring your skin remains healthy and intact. Now, let's test your understanding of these basic concepts. Take a moment to answer these 3 questions based on what we've just learned. What is the main purpose of mitosis? Do daughter cells have identical genetic information? And can you give 2 examples of where mitosis happens in your body? Pause the video if you need more time. Now, let's go a bit deeper and understand the structured journey a cell takes during division. Before a cell can divide through mitosis, it goes through a preparatory phase called interphase. Think of interphase as the cell's growth and preparation stage. It has 3 subphases: G1 where the cell grows, S phase where the cell meticulously duplicates its entire DNA, ensuring each chromosome now consists of 2 identical sister chromatids, and G2 where the cell continues to grow and synthesize proteins needed for division. This thorough preparation in interphase is absolutely vital for ensuring that mitosis proceeds accurately and each new cell receives a complete set of genetic material. Mitosis itself is a continuous process, but for easier understanding, it's divided into 4 main stages, often remembered by the acronym PMAT. First, prophase where the tangled DNA condenses into visible chromosomes, and the nuclear envelope starts to disappear. Next, metaphase where these condensed chromosomes line up perfectly at the cell's equator, forming the metaphase plate. Then comes anaphase the dramatic stage where the sister chromatids separate and are pulled to opposite ends of the cell. Finally, telophase where the chromosomes arrive at the poles, begin to decondense, and new nuclear envelopes form around the 2 sets of chromosomes, creating 2 distinct nuclei. The final step in cell division, following mitosis, is cytokinesis star. While mitosis divides the nucleus, cytokinesis divides the cytoplasm and its organelles, physically splitting the parent cell into 2. In animal cells, a cleavage furrow forms, pinching the cell membrane inwards until it divides. In plant cells, which have rigid cell walls, a cell plate forms in the middle and grows outwards, eventually forming a new cell wall that separates the 2 daughter cells. This completes the entire process, resulting in 2 fully independent, genetically identical daughter cells, each ready to begin its own life cycle. Time to challenge your understanding with a few more questions. Can you list the stages of mitosis in order? What critical event occurs during the S phase of interphase? How does cytokinesis differ in plant and animal cells? Why is chromosome alignment so important? And a little numerical challenge. If a parent cell has 0 chromosomes, how many chromosomes will each daughter cell have after mitosis? Give these a shot. Let's elevate our understanding. We'll now delve into the intricate controls and comparisons that make mitosis a precise biological marvel. While mitosis is essential for growth and repair, it's crucial to distinguish it from meiosis, another type of cell division. Mitosis produces 2 genetically identical daughter cells, each with the full set of chromosomes, called diploid, to N. It occurs in somatic cells. Meiosis, on the other hand, is a specialized division that produces 4 genetically distinct daughter cells, each with half the number of chromosomes, called haploid, N. Meiosis occurs only in germ cells to form gametes for sexual reproduction. Mitosis involves 1 round of division, while meiosis involves 2. This fundamental difference underlies the vast diversity of life through sexual reproduction versus the faithful replication for growth and maintenance. Imagine a strict quality control system in a factory. That's what cell cycle checkpoints are for cell division. These are critical regulatory points that monitor the cell's condition and ensure everything is perfect before proceeding to the next phase. The **G1 checkpoint ** checks for cell size, nutrients, growth factors, and most importantly, DNA damage. If there's an issue, the cell cycle can halt. The **G2 checkpoint ** ensures that DNA replication is complete and there's no further DNA damage. Finally, the **M checkpoint ** or spindle checkpoint is vital during metaphase, ensuring that all chromosomes are correctly attached to the spindle fibers. Failure of these checkpoints can lead to serious consequences, including uncontrolled cell division, which is a hallmark of cancer. The precise movement of chromosomes during mitosis is orchestrated by structures called spindle fibers. These fibers are essentially made of microtubules and originate from structures called centrosomes in animal cells. They form the mitotic spindle, which acts like a microscopic railway system. During metaphase, specific spindle fibers attach to protein structures on the chromosomes called kinetochores. Then, during anaphase, motor proteins walk along these spindle fibers, effectively pulling the sister chromatids apart towards opposite poles of the cell. This meticulous mechanism ensures that each new daughter cell receives an exact and equal set of chromosomes, maintaining genetic stability. Now, let's tackle some harder questions that require deeper thought. Can you compare the outcomes of mitosis and meiosis? Describe the role of the G1 checkpoint in preventing errors. What would happen if spindle fibers were absent during anaphase? How do mitotic errors contribute to cancer? If a cell has 4-6 chromosomes, how many chromosomes and chromatids would daughter cells have in G1? Discuss the evolutionary advantage of both processes. And finally, what's the significance of the metaphase plate? Take your time to formulate comprehensive answers. All right, brilliant minds. Prepare to dive into the molecular depths and cutting-edge insights of mitosis. We are going beyond the textbook, exploring the unseen mechanisms and real-world implications. The meticulous progression through the cell cycle, including mitosis, isn't left to chance, it's tightly controlled by a sophisticated molecular machinery. Key players here are the ** cycle-independent kinases, or CDKs ***. These are enzymes that, when activated, phosphorylate, add a phosphate group to other proteins, thereby triggering specific cell cycle events. CDKs, however, are only active when bound to regulatory proteins called **cyclins***. Different cyclins, such as G1 cyclins, S cyclins, and M cyclins, are synthesized and degraded at specific phases of the cell cycle, forming transient cyclin CDK complexes that drive the cell from one stage to the next. This precise temporal regulation ensures that each phase is completed before the next begins, preventing errors and maintaining genomic integrity. Despite the robust regulatory mechanisms, errors can sometimes occur during mitosis, leading to significant consequences. One critical error is non-disjunction where sister chromatids fail to separate properly during anaphase. This results in daughter cells with an abnormal number of chromosomes, a condition known as aneuploidy ***. While aneuploidy is often lethal, if it occurs in somatic cells early in development, it can lead to somatic mosaicism ***, where an individual has different genetic makeups in different cell populations. For instance, some cancers exhibit aneuploidy due to mitotic errors, and conditions like some forms of Down syndrome can arise from postzygotic mitotic non-disjunction, creating a mosaic individual. These errors underscore the critical importance of mitotic fidelity for health and development. The mitotic spindle is far more than just a set of fibers, it's a dynamic, self-organizing macromolecular machine. It's composed primarily of three distinct types of microtubules, each with specialized functions. Kinetochore microtubules directly attach to the kinetochores on sister chromatids and are responsible for pulling them apart. Interpolar microtubules extend from opposite poles, overlapping at the spindle equator, and push the poles apart, elongating the cell. Lastly, astral microtubules radiate outwards from the poles, anchoring the spindle to the cell cortex, thereby orienting the spindle within the cell. The precise assembly, disassembly, and motor protein activity along these microtubules ensure the accurate segregation of chromosomes, a truly remarkable feat of cellular engineering. Understanding the intricate mechanics of mitosis has profound implications, particularly in medicine. Many chemotherapy drugs used to treat cancer specifically target the mitotic process. Cancer cells are characterized by uncontrolled proliferation, meaning they divide rapidly. Drugs like taxanes example paclitaxel, work by stabilizing microtubules, preventing their depolymerization and thus arresting cells in metaphase. Conversely, vinca alkaloids example vincristine, destabilize microtubules, preventing their polymerization. Both types of drugs effectively disrupt spindle formation and function, leading to mitotic arrest and ultimately programmed cell death, apoptosis, in cancer cells. Ongoing research also explores targeting specific mitotic kinases to develop more precise and less toxic anti-cancer therapies, highlighting mitosis as a crucial battleground in the fight against cancer. All right, prepare for the ultimate challenge. Here are your first 5 toughest questions. How do cyclins and CDKs regulate the cell cycle? What are the consequences of non-disjunction in early development? Describe the 3 types of spindle microtubules and their functions. How do chemotherapy drugs exploit mitosis? And critically analyze the statement that mitosis is merely cell duplication. These questions require deep thinking and synthesis of advanced concepts. Good luck! And here are the final 5 to truly test your mastery. Explain somatic mosaicism and its origins. Discuss other regulatory mechanisms beyond checkpoints. What evolutionary advantages does sexual reproduction offer over asexual reproduction? Investigate the roles of cohesin and condensin in chromosome behavior. Finally, predict the effects of a drug inhibiting kinetochore microtubule motor proteins. These questions will push your biological reasoning to its limits. Think critically and connect the dots. That was an incredible journey through the fascinating world of mitosis. From basic cell growth to the intricate molecular machinery and its implications in disease, you've explored a vital process of life. We hope this comprehensive session has deepened your understanding and sparked your curiosity. For more such engaging and in-depth educational content, make sure to visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for continuous learning. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning.